As a preliminary matter, this is Eric Crane, Chairman of the Danvers School Committee. I want to confirm, first of all, that all members or persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. So members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. There would be Alice Campbell.
Hello, here.
And Gabe Lopes.
Present.
Jeff Kay.
Yes.
Robin Doherty.
Here.
And then any staff members, so that would be our Interim Superintendent, Mary Wormers.
Here.
Adam Federico. Here. And Diane Tebow.
Yes, here.
Okay. And finally, anticipated speakers on the agenda, that would be Mike Landers.
Hi there.
Hi, Mike. So good evening, Danvers. This open meeting of the Danvers School Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, which is still in effect. This allows, essentially suspended the requirement of an open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. There is nothing on our agenda tonight that requires public participation, so we won't be having public comment at this meeting. For this meeting, the Danvers School Committee is convening remotely via Zoom as posted in the agenda. Please note the meeting is being recorded and that some attendees, in fact, all of us are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer because anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. So with that, let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
We're not going to get any awards for a synchronized presentation. The Danvers Public Schools mission statement. The Danvers Public Schools is a dynamic community of independent learners dedicated to respect, responsibility, creativity, and the pursuit of academic and personal excellence. All right, so with that, let's get right into what is our very short agenda this evening. First of all, items of interest to the superintendent and school committee. Anything, Mary?
No.
Okay. Anyone on the school committee have an item of interest? No. The only item I have is that tomorrow night is the block party downtown that's been organized, under sort of by the impetus of two of our students from the middle school who, as part of their civics project last year, and I think they're freshmen at the high school now or will be. But this was a project that they got going. They marshaled it along, working with folks from the town. I believe it's 6 to 8 tomorrow in the square. And I hope that everybody will take the opportunity to attend. It's a nice chance for the community to get back together. So hopefully we'll all be there and all have a good time.
It's actually 4 to 7.
4 to 7, I'm sorry. Good, I'm glad you caught me, Mary. Thank you. All right, so let's see. Unfinished business. We'll go right to Mary Waters.
Okay. The interim superintendent recommends the approval of the amendment to the policies for a second reading, policies AC and AC-E.
We have a motion. We have a second. So we have a motion and a second. This is for second reading and adoption. Is there any discussion? No, no discussion. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, I'm sorry. Strike that. We actually, because this is remote, we have to do this by roll call. So I'm going to ask Diane to call the roll. I apologize.
Eric Crane.
Yes.
Same. Alice Campbell,
Yes.
Jeff Kay,
Yes.
Robin Doherty,
Yes.
Gabe Lopes.
Yes.
All right, that is the vote. Next up, the 2022-2023 pre-K through 12 school improvement plans.
The interim superintendent recommends the approval of the proposed 2022-2023 pre-K through 12 school improvement plans for a second reading.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved.
I think I heard a motion on the second there. All right, is there a discussion? All right, hearing none. Again, Diane, would you please call the roll?
Eric Crane,
Yes.
Alice Campbell,
Yes.
Gabe Lopes,
Yes.
Jeff Kay,
Yes.
Robin Doherty.
Yes.
That is a vote. Next item.
The interim superintendent recommends the approval of the proposed 2022-2023 pre-K through 12 student parent handbooks for a second reading.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion, actually two motions. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Jeff and a second by Robin. Is there discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Eric Crane,
Yes.
Alice Campbell,
Yes.
Gabe Lopes,
Yes.
Robin Doherty,
Yes.
Jeff Kay.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, we will move on to new business. And as I said at our last meeting, the town moderator has sent the proposed appointment of Michael Landers to be appointed as the Danvers representative to the Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical School Committee. Mike is here with us today. The basic process for people is that under the actually under the policies of the Essex Tech, which policies describe the composition and the way that school committee members for that body are appointed. In cities, the mayor makes an appointment, and in towns, the town moderator makes an appointment. Those are subject to the consent of the school committee. And so that's why we're here. It's not a town process. It's actually the process that's part of the policies of the Essex Tech body. Pat Frazier, our town moderator, has proposed Mike Landers as the Danvers representative. And so I would like to begin by taking a motion to approve consent to actually the town moderator's appointment of Michael Landers.
So moved.
Jeff, who has moved it,
Second.
Robin has seconded. I'm going to open it to discussion, and Mike is here. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any questions. In fact, if you'd like, Mike, if you want to now, maybe just give us a little bit of your background, so if people who don't know you know a little bit about you and your service to the town in the past.
Thank you, Eric. I'm very proud of the fact that the moderator has the faith in me to be able to continue and to serve the remainder of Wayne's term on this particular board. I had the opportunity to serve with Wayne for over 30 years and in various capacities, and he was a wonderful person and a great person for the town. And so again, it's a tremendous honor for me in that respect. I was first elected to the town meeting in 1984. Pretty young guy at that time. I've served sort of continuously in various capacities since that point. I've been on the Board of Selectmen, chairman of the Planning Board, chairman of the Recreation Committee. I currently have spent about the last 5 years on the Finance Committee and the last 3 years on the Municipal Light Board. Again, when I was asked by the moderator to serve in this capacity, tremendous amount of honor to do that and to represent the town in the town's interests. That's very important.
I don't think it's a reflection of Mike, but I think what we're voting on is an extremely important role. not only for our town, but also for Essex Tech, given the size and the scope and scale of the voting that's, coming along with the candidate that we'll be putting in place. So, I did my own due diligence to the best of my ability. I'm just concerned with the process. I don't feel like as a committee we were properly briefed on the process. Mike, I know, has spent time with a few of us on a call, and I do appreciate him taking the time to do so. But, I became aware of a letter from Pat Frazier, our town moderator, that was written on August 5th that I never saw, announcing Mike's nomination. We didn't know about him until last week. So I think, my biggest concern is just this process. It was very eye-opening to some of us. I want to make sure that the town, the community is just fully aware that this is a new school committee in the sense of our expectation of transparency from each other and from the town. And I think we all want to make very well-informed decisions, particularly on a nomination like this. So he answered all of my questions in a very professional mannerism. I might not see eye to eye on everything, but I do feel as though as he will act in the best interest of our town as a representative. I think what struck me, and I'd love to kind of pose to us as a community, he did express his desire to work more closely with us on the school committee than perhaps we had in the past. So I would very much like to perhaps put a formal recommendation together and what that working relationship would look like. And, particularly having a conduit, maybe a main point of contact on the school committee that works with him directly on updates so that we can hear what's going on. We can express our own concerns. We can work together. I think this is just it's a rebuilding opportunity, in my opinion, between Danvers and Essex Tech. And I'd like kind of us to take advantage of that to the best of our ability. So I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I do think in speaking with Gabe, I would propose that Gabe be a conduit between us as a school committee and Mike as he sits on the Essex Tech committee as well.
Okay. Thank you, Alice. Let me, again, as I said at the last meeting, in terms of not getting this appointment on the regular August agenda, that was absolutely my fault. I flat out missed the letter until like the day before, day of. It was absolutely my fault. And as I said, that's why I proposed a special meeting this month to try and make sure we could get the appointment before the first meeting in September so Mike could attend. Again, I do apologize for that. I don't know that it certainly would not have changed the process very much. The process has always been that the moderator makes the appointment. However, it would have given you perhaps a longer opportunity to question and talk about the process. And again, while it might not have changed the process, I accept responsibility for dropping the ball on that, and totally on me. As far as the idea with Gabe as a conduit with Mike, I'd like to think Mike would feel free to talk to any of us about key issues that he may have, but I have no difficulty with, or personally no issue with Gabe being sort of the point person unless someone else does, but that's fine with me.
If I could, Mr. Chair, thank you. Yeah, I had an opportunity to speak with a number of the members, and I came away tremendously impressed with the commitment that this group has towards the public schools. I think I did express to Alice, I know I expressed to Robin, I certainly, if I didn't, I wanted to express to Gabe the idea that exactly what Alice is talking about is critical. I think one of the things that absolutely has to happen is that I need to appear before you a number of times a year as a formal agenda item, and that absolutely I need to come in and discuss matters with you in a public fashion and have the opportunity for that to be a public resource for the community. In regards to working directly with Gabe, I'd love to do it. You know, I think it would be an excellent working relationship, and I'd love to be able to do that with him as well as obviously a regular meeting with you as an entire board. And I would hope, obviously, that the idea that I would work closely with Gabe would not restrict anybody on this board's either desire or ability to call me whenever they have any issue whatsoever in terms of what would go forward.
I think I would second the notion of you coming before us. We have not done that in the past, but I think it's important, especially at this time that we do, in terms of building that relationship with the tech and the issues that have come up over the last couple of years, to be able to talk about things publicly. So I'd love to have you as a regular agenda item with us. All right, Alice, thank you. Gabe.
Hey there. Not so much a question, but more of a statement. And given that, you know, all of this was kind of, you know, it wasn't rushed from the town moderator perspective, but Eric, I appreciate you, you know, owning up to, you know, failing to give us enough information to go with this. I reached out to several people. Some of the perception was that this was a ceremonial process. I don't believe that ceremonial votes or rubber stamps are included in bylaws. So I'm just ethically completely against any of that. So given the lack of information on this process, I was initially okay with not voting on this nominee at all until we had a better understanding of what was happening. Like Alice, I spent a significant amount of time to familiarize myself on this process. I reached out to trusted members of this community regarding the nominator, the nominee, and their qualifications. I had a lengthy conversation with Mike, not an easy conversation, but it was a good conversation. And I think I got what I needed to get out of that conversation. I know that there's a history of things being done in a specific way in this town. And to Alice's point, we're a new body. Don't be surprised if we're going to ask questions, we're going to push back, or we're going to poke. I will never rubber stamp a vote for anyone or anything, because we owe it to this community to be transparent, to open up the dialogue and ensure that all members of this committee are fully informed of pending votes before we take them. Again, the town moderator submitted her appointment on August 5th via a letter to the chair, and none of us saw it until today, and that was quite shocking. The school committee is still carrying the burden of past scandals. For this reason, we will be more closely scrutinized, and deservedly so. So it's imperative that we embrace transparency, and we're all on the same page. So with that, I'm ready to cast my vote today for the seat on the school board for Essex Community. It's open due to the unfortunate passing of Wayne Marquis. I want to be crystal clear that I'm not voting as a procedure. I'm voting because I agree that Mike Landers will represent Danvers well, and I look forward to you know, the work that he's going to do on the board and him reporting back to us. So that's my statement on the issue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabe. And again, I only have so many apologies, and you know, I don't know what more to add to that again. And I appreciate and respect the fact that you want to take a vote that's meaningful and not just follow a process blindly. And I don't know how anybody can't respect you for that. So I appreciate it. Jeff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate Mike stepping forward with this. I mean, you clearly could have said no to this as well. So appreciate you kind of coming with this. Yeah, I mean, I've you know, talked to Mike and more importantly, I think you know, heard from him over the years as to his different perspectives on this, and they've always seemed to be very thoughtful, right? They've always taken, first and foremost, I would say, the perspective of the students, right? So whether it's our students going to the tech or current tech students, I think that has been kind of what's impressed me, and you know, what is in the best interest of those students, as well as the community and taxpayers and everybody else. So you know, that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I think we've touched on it here, is just it's a not just a conduit, but it's a new way for us to have sort of a dialogue and get great background and information and a thought process from the tech, right? So it's not just, you know, reviewing their notes and listening to some of their you know, kind of comments or even our own meetings, but you know, when you're there as a representative for us, I think not only sharing our perspective, but listening to what the, you know, the other members are saying is super important for us as well. So from that perspective, yeah, I'm absolutely fine supporting Mike in this right now.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Eric, if I could just quickly,
Sure.
if Jeff has a way to be able to say no on these things, he needs to tell me how it is. Because, you know, I'm on the finance committee and the municipal light board. I'm not exactly sure how. I do say no. Trust me.
Yeah.
People don't take no for an answer apparently when it comes to some of this stuff. But thank you for your nice thoughts.
All right, so from my perspective, I've known Mike a long time. I have respect for what Mike has done in terms of his contribution to the town, scope of knowledge. No question that he is absolutely qualified for this position. And from a process standpoint, you know, I tend to look at, okay, what is the process? What's the expectation of the process? And in this case, what I mean the process is that in general, it's the moderator's appointment. And our role is to, it seems to me, approve the appointment unless there's a significant reason not to. That doesn't mean you're a rubber stamp, because if there's a significant reason not to, I think it's incumbent on all of us to speak up. But, you know, the process has worked. This is probably the 5th or 6th time in the last 20 years we've appointed someone or approved an appointment. Frank Terrell, followed by Russ Fravel, followed by Wayne, and probably followed by Mike tonight. And this is the first time that the issue has been more controversial in terms of how we make the appointment. And, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing for us to take a look at what we do and how we do things. At the same time, this town has been run well for a number of years, and the processes are there because they've worked. And so I hope we can strike a balance in terms of respecting the process, but being willing to stand up when we feel like we have to. So unless there's further comments, I would be, I say we take a vote at this point.
Robin hasn't spoken.
Robin, I'm sorry. How did
It's okay.
No.
No, I think I, very much echo what Alice and Gabriel said earlier, just with the process, the transparency behind that. I don't have issues that Mr. Landers isn't going to represent the town and put children first. I think that's all what we want to do on the school committee. And I am excited for the fact that we could have some more communication because, we do have kids, a lot of kids going to Essex Tech, but at the end of the day, they're from Danvers. So we're not operating in such separate entities, but really more collaboration and transparency. But I don't have concerns about his ability to, represent the town of Danvers.
And Eric, you're clear, well, everyone I guess should be clear that this is for an 18-month term, correct?
It is to fill the remainder of Wayne Marquis' term.
So we will have that ability to revisit this in 18 months.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
My understanding would be that this is only to complete the existing term, and that then the town moderator will make another appointment. Now, it could be Mike, could be somebody else, but the point is, yes, it'll come before.
Okay. Thank you.
My wife also has that understanding.
And again, I would just say, Mike, and you know this, you have certainly some large shoes to fill in terms of the man you're replacing who gave so much to the town of Danvers through the years. And I know you'll take this job seriously because anything you have stepped into for the town, you have taken seriously, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other comments? With that, Diane, would you call the roll?
Eric Crane,
Yes.
Robin Doherty,
Yes.
Alice Campbell,
Yes.
Jeff Kay,
Yes.
Gabe Lopes.
Okay, I think, well, Gabe was on mute. I
Gabe.
think I heard you say yes, Gabe.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Yes.
It happens, right? It happens.
All right.
All right.
Eric, and if I could just quickly, I would suggest, I know the first meeting that I'll be attending is September 8th.
Mhm.
There's going to be some time to be brought up, but I would hope that you would look to put me on the agenda sometime at the end of October so that I can very quickly give you an update in regards to what I've seen, what I found. Again, I understand that this will be the first update that our school committee has gotten from our representative on that board in many years. So it's probably about time and that we do that relatively quickly.
Well, here's the October meeting, Diane, is what date?
Good question. Hold on 1 minute because I don't have that with me. September is the 12th. Hold on.
Yep. It's the second Monday, whatever that day is.
So I think it would be technically October 10th, but that is a holiday,
Day?
so I'm assuming it's October 17th.
Yeah.
All right, so given that, Mike, do you want to, is that too soon? Is that just right? What do you
Yes.
think?
I think that makes good sense. I mean, I'm not going to obviously going to be able to wow you with my phenomenal knowledge of what's happening down there after 2 meetings, but I do think it sets an excellent precedent in order to be able to make that point that my expectation is, and your expectation is that we're going to meet together a number of times during the year publicly so that people can feel comfortable with that. And on that, I thank you very much for the support that you've shown me in this. And I really do appreciate the opportunity to speak with all of you. And I'm pleased. I'll put my finance committee hat on and tell you, I'm really pleased to the job that you guys are doing. So I'll take my finance committee hat back off. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
If
Mike.
we made it hard, it's a compliment.
We will, we look forward to seeing you on October 17th with your first update. All right. So with that, unless there's anything else to come before the committee or anyone on the committee has something, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Did we all technically vote? Did we do? Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, we did a roll call.
Great.
All right, so a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. Diane, your last poll of the evening.
Eric Crane,
Yes.
Alice Campbell,
Yes.
Gabe Lopes,
Yes.
Robin Doherty,
Yes.
Jeff Kay.
Yes.
All right. This was a quick one. Thank you all for the good work you continue to do, and we'll see you in October. Thank you all.
September. We'll
Like
see you
that,
in
September. Right now, I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Okay.
Right, so
September
September 12th is our next meeting. Hopefully see everybody tomorrow night at the block party, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.